Happy International Women's Day and happy Friday. I was so deeply inspired by many of the posts today and just from a couple of the talks I've been having with some of my women Asian friends. First of all, I want to acknowledge women. Just how powerful it is to be a woman, how powerful it is to have a vagina, how powerful it is to be in our bodies, how powerful it is to be in our divine feminine energy that brings this love, this light, this aliveness, emotions, honoring, sacredness, softness, messiness, and so much more in the world. That's the feminine energy, the unconsciousness. We bring the water. And if you're wondering what the hell is Roz talking about, we also need the divine masculine, which is so important. And we do have the ability to access both. We do need both in our world. Divine masculine is about the conscious, the logical, the results, the leading from that place of from head. Women lead with heart. I shouldn't say women, I'm sorry. Divine feminine, because there are men who embrace the divine feminine and lead with their heart, lead with their gut. And that's really what we want more of in the world. Our leaders, parents, who lead from this heart, gut place. We don't need more people leading with ego, leading with fear. No, thank you. So that's what I want to acknowledge. So happy Divine Feminine Day. And this goes out to the men too, because we all have divine masculine and feminine energy available to us. We can access that. And I've come a long way in my journey to go from a very, very strong masculine, ego-driven though. Ego meaning driven from a place of I need to prove myself. I need to work hard, push it, force, and achieve, and do. And absolutely we need some of that, but it needs to be coming from a place of love, of contribution, of service, of sharing your gifts. That's such a different mindset and a way of being and showing up. And so I've done a lot of inner work to show up differently. And I would say that I have absolutely both a strong masculine and a strong feminine part of me. So I also want to share, hey Allie, hey love. What's been really interesting is lately I have been attracting more female friends who are of Asian descent or part Asian descent and mostly relate with being in that Asian culture and Canadian culture. And it's a really interesting way to be. So if you're Asian and you're not in your home country and you experience something different, I am personally first generation Canadian. My parents are from Hong Kong. Yes, I am full Chinese. A lot of people wonder if I'm half white, if I might be Thai or Vietnamese or Filipino. I get that one a lot. Laos. When I was in Thailand, people were just like staring at me because they couldn't figure out what I was. The women thought I was a prostitute because I was with this white guy, my husband, as we were there for our honeymoon, and they didn't like me. And then the men were staring at me because I didn't look like I was Thai, but I looked like I was like maybe Thai Chinese, and it was a very interesting experience. They were fascinated by me. So it's really interesting to be Asian and Asian Canadian. Growing up, hey Deanne, I had struggles. I had lots of struggles around my culture and embracing it because no one else was like me. It was predominantly white people. And I joke around about me being a banana, yellow on the outside, white on the inside. I am a banana. And I remember being so embarrassed about people making fun of the Chinese language. They're like, and about the food that I would eat. And so, of course, when you're that young, you want to, I mean, at the core of all of us, we just want to belong. And when you're around peers, hi, Caitlin, who are making fun of your culture, what happens usually, and at least for me, is I shunned my own culture, of my Asian culture, and I came in to embrace the white culture. And I did have a lot of Asian friends, obviously, growing up, and I didn't speak the language. My parents speak Cantonese to me, still to this day. I can understand it, and I can speak basic, but I joke around like I'm speaking like a white person speaking Chinglish. And I'm sure white people can sometimes speak better than I could. So the struggle of that, and then there was body image struggles because I'm not a typical skinny Asian. Like a lot of women in my family, at least, are very tiny, very lean, no hips. And so me having more of I'll say like a more curvy, athletic build, I was seen as overweight. Hi, Peter. It's been a while. See you. Hey, Anne. And so I struggled with that. Like, not only do I like now not fit into either, I'm white, I'm not white, I'm not Asian, I don't want to be Asian. And now it's like my body also has struggles. I also have struggles with my body. And then also the mentality of Asian, like you may have heard of the tiger parents. I do not have tiger parents, thank goodness. My parents were actually really amazing. I could see they were struggling with trying to see, do we have our kids embrace Canadian culture since we're here in Canada, or do we have our kids embrace our culture? And that was shown in the way of, do we go to Chinese school, Chinese lessons, or do we take French? And so they ended up hiring a French tutor for us. So my parents are not super crazy traditional. They never expected me to marry a Chinese guy. I've never been attracted to Asian men. I think because they remind me of my brother. And I know. Can some of you Asian women relate? It's just a thing for me. And they knew I would marry like a Latino man or a white man, because that's who I was attracted to. And Keanu Reeves, okay, he's part Chinese actually, so if it was part Chinese, that's okay, because he doesn't look like my brother, or he could be my brother. I know, I'm being real with you people here. This is probably fascinating for some of you, and for those of you who can relate. But there's still in the Asian culture an emphasis, a heavy emphasis, no matter what, all through the lineage, all through the energy, all through the teachings, you need to achieve. You need to be a doctor, a lawyer, a engineer, psychologist, something in that higher professional status. And so it was just achieving and doing and achieving for the success and forgetting about who, what is actually joyful and fun. Again, my parents still encourage me to shine in other ways. I am naturally a gifted artist, which I haven't really cultivated my gift as an adult. And I could draw people. I never drew stick figures. Since a young little girl, I always drew people that look like people. And my parents put me in art classes, and I did painting classes, and they encouraged these ways, which was awesome. And yet there is still a heavy emphasis on the achieving, the success, the 80% isn't that good. Can you people relate? I don't know, I know my Asian people can relate. So So anyways, I guess what the whole point of this is I want to just call in those of you who are Asian, Canadian, Asian American, and I'd love to hear more about your experiences, what it's like for you growing up in a country that's not your roots, and if you had also struggled in a similar way. Because the conversations I've been having with my Asian girlfriends are very much about that. And the theme around that is doing rather than just being, and coming into who you are and honoring who you are. It's like you got to focus on the achievements. And I believe to a huge extent when I go out to do talks, my audience is mostly Canadian. And they can still relate with my themes of doing rather than just being, because I also think on a societal level, that's what we value here, is that sense of independence, of achieving, of status. And unfortunately, we are driven in this place of, if you're not being efficient and productive and you're just resting, you look lazy. And so we don't get a lot of honoring of just being still, of just showing up, of just being you. And even if you're not Asian and you can relate, I would love to hear your comments more as well. What pieces can you relate with? All right. So I just was free flowing it. Have a phenomenal day. Go and celebrate your divine feminine. Go and do that by leading from that place today on purpose, with intention, showing up full of love, full of softness, full of just coming back home to yourself, being with you, being kind, being compassionate, honoring your emotions, and really seeing somebody, dropping in and seeing somebody's heart. Go and do that. Love you guys.